Hello and welcome to the show. This is one of those late night recordings, and it's going to be a very noisy one because it's a full house. Kids are home, wifey is home, and then I think currently they say like the national grid has collapsed or something like that. So NEPA has just been taken like anyhow. Now in my own part of the building, there are six of us, six families in this part. So each, I think five of us have inverter, solar. So this is relatively quiet. But in the building at the back, all of them they run gen. So if NEPA takes light in the middle of this recording, you guys are going to hear a massive wall of generators coming through the speakers. So hopefully NEPA won't take light, and we should be able to have a relatively peaceful recording, somewhat. So today's episode is also going to be one of those random rambling episodes. On a number of things. Like how sales skills can help you with your career progression, because I'm mindful of the fact that not everybody listening to this podcast has a business, has an SME, has a side hustle. Some people are actually just trying to boost their careers. So how sales skills can help your career, and then also tips on follow-up. That's for those of you who are actively trying to do some kind side runs, or you have a business that you're trying to build. So the reason why I'm going to be rambling on these sorts of things is because I got updates on Wonder Woman recently. Now, if this is your first time listening to the show, when I say Wonder Woman on the podcast, I don't mean the real Wonder Woman. I don't mean the comic Wonder Woman, and I don't mean Gal Gadot. As you know, even though Gal Gadot she's a very babe, she's not the one that I'm referring to. Gal Gadot, that's the actress who plays Wonder Woman in the DC movies, the DC franchise movies. So when I say Wonder Woman here on the podcast, I mean the lady from Benue State who is a caterer, into the cuisine business, and we did a case study on her because she was looking for avenues to expand her business, to boost sales, and then we also looked at some conditions under which it would be okay to accept outside money, to accept funding, to accept equity to grow her business, equity investment. So if you've been listening for a while, I just got updates on her. So it's the same lady. So just updates as per, where is she now? What has she been up to? Then, so if you remember from the previous Wonder Woman episode now, she was also considering paid employment, as per, she's a student, she's trying to do this catering thing, and if the conditions are not ripe for her to accept equity investment, then she might as well just have paid employment to, just maintain herself, and then also to finance the catering business that she wants to do. So those are some of the options. So since then, she has gone for a job interview, but it turned out to be a practical one. I've always wondered, how do you choose which caterers to hire? And apparently, this is how you do it. People go for practical. You go and cook, and then you taste their food. But anyway, it turned out that the interview she was going on for was not for the main chef. It was for the sous chef. I think that's the assistant chef or something like that. So she was going to be a sous chef, a kitchen assistant, that sort of thing. So she went for the whole thing. She was pinging me as she went for the thing. It turned out to be late. They were there almost the whole day. But at the end of the day, they sorted her something. They sorted her something nice. The TP that they gave her was 5 figures. Let me just put it that way. And in my mind, I'm thinking, okay. If you can pay this much for TP, then it means that the gig must be very sweet now. That if you land this kind of job, that the money will be a correct something. So, anyway, so she finished, and as a sharp girl that she is now, that's why I call her Wonder Woman, she decided to follow up the next day. In fact, this is lesson number 1. Those of you who are self-employed, you have a business, some of you, your follow-up game is weak. You allow time to pass too much. You talk to somebody, you now give it like 2 weeks, and then you buzz the person back. You say you're following up. As you're following up what? Like 2 weeks. You think they're waiting for you. Of course, they would have found somebody else to, another vendor, another consultant, another specialist, another whatever, to do the job. So for those of you who are still in the event space, like wedding photographers, you talk to somebody January 1st. You don't call them again until January 14th. Like you're doing yourself, like, what do you expect? So anyway, she's a sharp girl now, so that's why I call her Wonder Woman. And she followed up the next day. This is without me even telling her anything. And she didn't get the job because the people didn't want to wait 2 weeks because she was writing exams, and she wants to finish her exams properly before she resumes work. So yeah, they gave the job to somebody else basically. But anyway, like the sharp girl that she is, like I said, once that 2 weeks expired, and once she did pens down, pens up, write your exam, pens down. So when she did pens down now and the exam was over, she called them again. I said, like, how far? I finished the exam. Oh. Have you guys hired somebody? Is that role still available? But of course, the role was not available. But either way, we guys congratulate her. You can see that follow-up game, is tight. Follow-up game is on point. Because it's possible that you hire somebody and then after like that 2 weeks, the thing doesn't work out. They're ready to hire again. Since she already did the interview the first time and they thought she was a good candidate, skills on point, work ethic on point. This is what the head chef told her. She would have been an easy shoe-in. But then, no, they were still not looking for somebody for the job. And see, this is what I mean when I say how, when it comes to doing sales, we're just trying to increase the odds in our favor. So it's not a guarantee that because you follow up or take actions or follow your process, it's not a guarantee that the thing will click. But the thing is, we just keep doing what we do, increase the odds in our favor, and once in a while, a couple of things add up. And then if you get good at getting repeat business, getting referrals, then you can see how you can get something good going. Let me just put it that way. Anyway, so even though that 2 weeks don't expire now, like a sharp girl that she is, she didn't stop there. She reached out again. She buzzed the woman, the head chef. Now the scope was relationship building. But anyway, the chef didn't respond to that call, and that was just the update pretty much. But now you can see what I mean when I say that there are some people who are doing good sales practice, but they just don't know that they are doing good sales practice. It's one of my theses of starting this podcast that there are lots of people who are doing well at business or who are going to be very good at business because they have good sales practice, they just don't know. Now, this follow-up that she's doing like this, I don't know whether, her momsy taught her, because I think her momsy was also involved in catering business. So I don't know whether it's something that momsy taught her or she just figured it out herself. But actually, this is pretty good sales practice. So for those of you who have businesses, you see how it works. Like you tried, you didn't get it. You now put the person in a relationship building queue or a relationship nurturing queue. So that once in a while, you guys are hearing from each other, people are seeing, you guys are knowing each other, you're building relationship, you're staying familiar, because you don't know tomorrow something can click. So good ploy there on Wonder Woman's part. Now, the only response I gave to Wonder Woman was like, pretty good, well done. You've done pretty good up till now. By the way, when it comes to sales and business in general, when we say you've done pretty good, it doesn't necessarily mean you got the money or you got the job or you got the whatever. If you followed your process, regardless of whether the outcome was good or not, it's pretty good because at least you are demonstrating to yourself that you have discipline and you're able to keep to the process. So if you're able to exercise discipline, all well and good. So even that one, you have to give yourself pass mark. Because the thing is, it's from being consistent and disciplined over time that the results are going to come. So this is not one of those things. It's not like football that, you scored the goal, good, you didn't score the goal, bad. Like you just continue with the process. So long as you continue with the process, don't worry, the results will come. So my advice to her was, all well and good. But the only thing I added was, okay, next time you try buzzing somebody, they don't answer. Don't just leave it like that. Because if you buzz, you call the person, they don't answer, and then you just leave it. It's as if you never called, they'll forget. So every time you buzz, they don't answer, send a text message sharply or a WhatsApp message. And I even told her, look, you know what, since this thing didn't work out, you now want to be in touch with this head chef. So the very scope that we use now for this first message will be, that whole good evening, ma'am, blah, 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 was a pleasurable experience. The interview, nice getting to know you, nice getting to learn, blah, blah, blah. I'd appreciate recommendations, other head chefs that for people who are looking for a sous chef, looking for an assistant chef, that kind of thing. And that's the kind of message that you just send like that. You send it one time. Then, over time, we'll be able to come up with some more ideas. But, anyway, so that was it. Then, And that was just the general gist of the um, advice that I gave her. And before we finished the chat, she now sent me a message, done. Like she already crafted something and she already sent it. Now you see, this is one of the reasons why I say Wonder Woman. As per, she's bright, she's taking action sharp, and there's some people that I'll say, do this, and they'll say, oh, okay, I'll do it tomorrow or something. But you can see that she took action sharp. So these are the things that help move things in one's favor. So, summary: how can sales skills help with career advancement? From all the things we've been talking about now, Wonder Woman, you can see that career advancement, last, at the end of the day, it's also a sale. Because you're selling yourself on somebody to show that you are suitable for the position. So what she's doing now with head chef, that woman, is to show that this is a bright, sharp, young lady who is persistent and who also has the skills in the kitchen. And so she's going to be suitable the next time another job comes up or the next time something comes up. So these are the kind of skills that you have to demonstrate in your place of work that will show that you are suitable for the job. I mean, of course, you need technical expertise, because if Wonder Woman was a rubbish cook, then none of this would be happening. So definitely, she has the skills. But then, these are the extra stuff that you have to do to advance yourself in your career. So, so these are the sorts of skills that you need. Follow-up game was on point. That's good. Okay, some other recommendations I would have given her, but I forgot to. After the interview process, we should always reach out to say thank you very much for the opportunity. Now, there are some kind of organizations that you won't have the opportunity to do that. Like if it's NNPC, for instance. NNPC, I'm sure they hire, like when they're hiring, I'm sure they hire maybe like 50,000 people at a shot, that kind of thing. Okay, maybe like 5,000. But you're not going to have the opportunity to be one-on-one with people in the interview pattern and, those sorts of things. Although if you're sharp, you try your luck, you try your hand. Because like when my wife was being interviewed for the government role that she is in now, was one of the things where she struck a chord with one of the interview panels, and she was like, oh, I really told the lady, how did she go again? Like, I really admire you, the steps you've taken to build your career, something, blah, blah, blah. Regardless of whether this thing works out or not, can I have your phone number? I would love to keep in touch. So that's how my wife got the number of somebody who was on the interview panel. So, you guys be thinking sharp. So these are ways that you get somebody in the inside, and then this is how you can now reach out later on to now say, oh, thank you very much, Ma, for the opportunity. It was a wonderful time being there, the panel. I enjoyed the interaction, the things that I learned from you guys, blah, blah, blah. So after that initial interview session, you have to reach out. Thank you very much for the opportunity. That's the scope of the first message. Eventually, you reach out some other time and you say, oh, by the way, I forgot to ask, during the interview panel, was there anything I could have done better? All these sorts of things. If you're reaching out to people on the interview committee, these are some of the things that will make you stand out. Because let's be real, this is Nigeria. If 100 people go for the job interview and they send all of you a letter saying, oh, sorry, we have applied, we have selected somebody else, there is nobody in that set that is going to reach out to people in the interview panel to say thank you very much for the opportunity. It was a pleasure working with you people, blah, blah, blah. Oh, by the way, is there anything I could have done better? I mean, these are some small things that just make you stand out. So the job is given to one person, but you're following up with people on the interview panel after this sort of thing. They'll say, that's a very sharp girl over there. They now keep your CV someplace, or they now have your phone number handy. The next time that is an opening in the department, they say, oh, remember that sharp girl, Abby? Okay, no problem. Let's give her a buzz. If she doesn't have a job, let her come and try again for this set. And you can see that, already you're now standing one step above your peers. So, the follow-up game involved after interview processes. Thank you very much for the opportunity. Another scope would be, is there stuff I could have done better? If you're one of those people who has been selected to go to the next step, you should reach out to the interview panel if you're able to get somebody's phone number. Thank you very much. I'm honored. I'm really happy. What's the next step for successful candidates? What will be required of us? That sort of thing. If you don't get it, thank you very much, blah, blah, blah. And then, like in Wonder Woman's case, would you have any recommendation? Any recommendation? That's because, you are not successful. But anyway, like I said, this is a rambling episode, so I'm not giving a very concise script about how you're supposed to run these things. But at least I hope you guys are getting an idea about how you can tackle these sorts of things. I mean, from a sales perspective, because these are the sorts of things that a salesperson will do, whether we land the gig or we don't land the gig. In summary, it's hard trying to balance school, trying to balance side hustle. So bottom line, for Wonder Woman and for those of you in Wonder Woman's situation, do not be discouraged. This is a learning experience and you are getting lots of transferable skills that is going to help you, dear Wonder Woman, and other people. You're learning time and self-management. You're learning relationship building. You're learning networking. You're learning persistent follow-through. I don't like the word follow-up, for different reasons. And in fact, in the traditional sales community, we don't say follow-up, we say follow-through. Well, that's a podcast on episode, on its own. So you're learning persistent follow-through. And at the end of the day, you become a better woman at the end of the process. See, I didn't realize this thing until there was this babe in my uni back when we were in OU. She was in medical department. So let me not use her real name. Let me just call her Frances. So at the time, Frances was dating this guy, and they used to do barbecue and suya and stuff like that. And they'll go and sell outside the female hostels. And at that time, some of us we thought we were too cool. We thought we were too fly. Like we're in uni now. You're a big boy. You're a big girl. How you going to be selling suya and shawarma in front of girls' hostel? Like it's somehow now. Anyway, the thing is, Frances and that guy, they didn't marry Sha. So the guy married somebody else. Frances married somebody else. But then later on, years later, I was jam Frances in Abuja and found out that she's supplying chicken to one of the mega stores here in Abuja. She supplies, like they have the poultry, you take the chicken, the every kill it, butcher it, bag it, everything. And it's then the thing just clicked like, oh, no wonder. It's from doing business small back in OAU. You do shawarma, you do suya, small. That is what now eventually led to her being a major supplier of chicken to mega stores in Abuja. So back in the uni days, when you're trying to run this thing, now of course medicine is not beans now. Like medicine is hard. So when you're trying to run your medical degree, you're trying to balance relationship, you're trying to balance your side hustle and everything, it might seem discouraging, but you don't know how these seeds that you're sowing is going to lead to you becoming a better woman, a correct babe, a boss chick, like 15-20 years down the line. You don't know, just stay at it. Of course, say your prayers. We all need help, and we all trust that God is going to bless the work of our hands. So my recommendations to any of my sisters listening to this podcast, well, of course, not my blood sisters, but I mean, you know what I mean. Sisters as per like esprit de corps. Those of us we are like one mind. So any of my sisters who are listening to this podcast episode, please keep listening, even if you haven't figured out your business idea, or even if you haven't figured out your side hustle idea, or maybe you have figured out one or two things, you're still trying to run it, but you haven't validated it. You don't know if this thing will work. Like, it doesn't matter, even if you're doing 9 to 5, you're thinking, I might want to do business, I might not want to do business, just hang in there, keep listening, keep jogging, keep juggling, keep ideating, keep thinking, keep trying, keep executing. Even if you don't try any business thing, it will still be good for your career too. Bottom line is just hang in there. Everything that needs balancing, just balance. In the morning, say your prayers, because it's not easy. And then you continue with the grind. And all these things, now, for those of you uni people, I mean, trust me, you can't say it now, but this is the beginning of you being boss chick 15-20 years down the line. So just hang in there. So if you'd love to connect with me for a strategy session, for a business audit, or you have questions you'd love for me to answer, the number to call is 080-6466-21 23440. The country code is +234. For those of you who are not Nigerian, that's my WhatsApp number. You can reach me there as well. Then connect with me on LinkedIn. That is the only social that I am on. I'm not on any other social. The name to look for is Tavishima Ayede. Then I also have a YouTube channel with the same name, Tavishima Ayede. You find a bunch of my videos there, especially back when I was trying to try out TikTok and Instagram Reels and all that. So even though I've deleted all my accounts, I still have some of those videos there. So you can get to go and see some of the old stuff from like 5, maybe 6 years back. So that's it. Thank you very much for your time and attention. I'll catch you guys at the next recording. Oh, and by the way, as at today's date, this is 10th of March. International Women's Day was 2 days ago. That was March 8th, 2025. So if you're listening to this in 2026, I'm not talking about the current International Women's Day. I'm talking about, the one prior. So March 8th, 2025, that was a Saturday, I think. That was International Women's Day. So happy International Women's Day to all my sisters, all my mummies, all my aunties, all my smallies, all my baddies, all my cousins, all my sisters in Christ, all my Muslim sisters, everybody who is listening to this episode. Happy International Women's Day to you all. It is my hope and it is my prayer that God will see us through as we advance in our businesses, advance in our careers, advance in our marriages, advance in whatever state in life that we choose to explore. So that's it for today. I'll catch you guys at the next episode.